Hello there, I'm Mike McPheters. I'm the author of the book Agent Bishop, True Stories from an FBI Agent Moonlighting as a Mormon Bishop. Now some of you might wonder how that could be done. It wasn't hard. When I was asked to defend the Constitution of the United States, I regarded that as a sacred instrument. So for me, religion and law enforcement went hand in hand. I had wonderful experiences during the 30 years that I served with the FBI. Some of them were hilarious. One day I would perform a marriage. Another day I'd have to arrest a bridegroom. Once I was bringing evidence into the post office in Pendleton where I had my office, and an old gentleman who was half inebriated was walking out the door. I had some evidence on my shoulder, a rifle that I confiscated. And this gentleman saw me as I walked through the door and said, "Mister, don't rob the post office. It'll be 35 to 40 years hard time." There were some very spiritual moments as well when I was able to administer as a church leader to members of my congregation. There was a time when I barely survived a dangerous shootout in Elgin, Oregon, where 2 people were killed and I was hit but only superficially. Throughout my entire career, I always felt that the protection and blessings of my church beliefs and faith protected me. I had a wife who was able to organize things at home during the time that I was out bishoping, doing the church work, counseling youth, counseling marriages to stay together, and during the time I was in even far away places like the Virgin Islands and Bolivia, chasing the bad guys. This was all a part of the Agent Bishop job, and for me it was a wonderful one. What are the goals of my book? The answer is there are basically 2. One is to tell people what the FBI is really like, the honorable men that they are, men who are indeed strong in spirit and character, the kind of people you like to have as your next door neighbor. They try to abide by the model, fidelity, bravery, and integrity for the FBI. I like to demonstrate the other purpose, and that purpose would be to show that there needs to be balance in our lives. In this particular example, the scripture represents the spiritual side of us. The gun represents the profession. In my instance, that of a law enforcement officer. What's really important is to assure that we keep them in balance. Now I've noted if the work gets too far over to this way, to where we begin taking our work home and begin making it our hobby instead of our profession, we get in a lot of trouble. We have to keep the gun in balance. We have to keep our professions in balance with our spiritual side, with our family side, and if we do, we can remain happy. One thing that's very important that I found is that we try to maintain that in kind of integrity in our lives, and if we do it, we can be happy. If we don't, we would be a dismal failure in our homes. I'd like to spend more time with you at your convenience and upon your invitation to tell you more FBI stories and to tell you more stories about how the Agent Bishop worked. Thank you.